Hello, the channel. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're all ready for the festivities at Christmas. Not feeling too great myself after the Celtic lineup today, but there we go. We're back for another preview. Celtic games coming thick and fast now. Game week's coming thick and fast. Lots of action on over the English Premier League. Most other leagues taking a break, obviously, but UK football going strong at Christmas as always. So let's try and navigate our way through the absolute carnage. Quick recap in terms of what's happening. Wasn't really online much yesterday, so still a little bit hungover, just a little bit. That's a lie, by the way. Anyways, so the specials went pretty horribly, to be honest. The Dawson Trusty in there as well, so not much chance when you're getting DNPs, etc. Sadly, I think Go Vicente did come on and get a decisive, but yeah, targets missed. I was quite ambitious with the targets as well, but there we go. In terms of Premier League, Mo Salah's definitely dug me out, so managed to get promotion back to D1, which is pretty good. I won't be picking any lineups at the end of this, but I think do actually have some teams in the Premier League with a double game week, so I'll have a quick look at that based on games. But yeah, I thought Brentford would be a wee bit better at home. Nottingham Forest are obviously a pretty good team. Didn't really trust Liverpool overall, but Mo Salah doing the business. So that will hopefully hold pending Opta back into D1. Funnily enough, my La Liga second team looks as if it's got promoted as well. There still are 2 games left there, right enough. But the team with Oblak and Gomez, Valverde, absolute banger. Lucas Vasquez was really good as well. Could have had more decisives actually. So looks like that one might get up to D1, which is more one for after Christmas. La Liga going on a break. Bundesliga D2 team going back up as well. So 4-5-2, pretty good effort. Lucas Herdecki never keeps a clean sheet when you actually need it. Schlotterbeck, a wee bit of a letdown. He was the last man in this, but a tier 3 rare in season, so not too bad. Champ team's a wee bit on a shaky nail as well. I don't know if that one will hold on. I think there's still some games to go, but it'd be good to keep that one. Division 3, it looks like it's going up in Champion as well. Picked out the Bournemouth clean sheet at Man United. And Challenger's not even started yet. And then let's zoom down to Contender. So lots of carnage. Obviously, I get caught out by this as well. So this team's definitely down 3 DNPs. There's no news of it. I say there's no news. There was some sort of murmur that there was a bit of sickness in the Celtic camp, but Carter Vickers and things were away down at the darts on Monday after the cup final. So you got to take that with a pinch of salt sometimes. Turned out it was true. There was no news of any players. Also no news that Nicholas Kuhn was going to be out. So manager said he had a wee bit of a pain in his knee. I think he took some sort of kick at the cup final and he went out to training and yeah, just still getting a bit of pain in his knee. So I'm hoping he'll be back for next game. We'll come back to Celtic preview in a wee minute, obviously, as we go through the teams. Again, D1 relegated. This one should stay up. So Berardi with his usual AA, no decisive actually, but he's usually AA and relegating D1 and Classic as well, and all the limited ones are all down to it. So anyways, let's get on to the actual preview. So what have we got on? Watch that game there actually, Liverpool against Spurs. What a brilliant game that was. Do you think Ange will get sacked at some point? I mean, yeah, I loved him at Celtic and he is a good manager, but I just don't really know how you can be going so gung-ho with Dragusin and Archie Gray at centre half. Okay, you've got a style of play and everything, but anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the PU. Liverpool were excellent. So, fixtures-wise, 3.37 XG and 51% clean sheet percentage for Liverpool. Leicester were pretty poor. Get beat, I think it was a 3-0. So, yeah, that is a really good fixture for a team, obviously in a lot of form. Liverpool. Celtic against Motherwell, 2.75 XG, 63% clean sheet percentage. It's going to be a real difficult one to call. Come back to Celtic preview in just a wee minute. We'll run through all the games first. But yeah, it's a really good home game. Celtic will want to bounce back after not scoring. Still 9 points clear, so it's hardly a disaster or anything, but we'll want to make a habit of that. Man City against Everton. Man City's form's so poor. 2.32 XG. Haaland's not even scoring goals, just a bit of a mess at the moment. Chelsea against Fulham. You would have thought Fulham would have done a bit better against Southampton. Obviously, the manager and everything going, maybe it was galvanised a wee bit. Rangers away at St Mirren. St Mirren been pretty poor this season, but it is away from home. So Celtic are at home, Rangers are away. It's only in Paisley, it's not exactly in Timbuktu, but St Mirren can be quite sticky there as well. It can be quite hard to break down sometimes. So yeah, obviously more tough than playing at home at Ibrox. Manchester United against Wolves. Again, Wolves bouncing back, so that was pretty interesting. Newcastle seem to be the sort of form team at the moment, particularly in SO5 anyways, against Aston Villa, who've been a bit hit or miss this season, but overall Champions League team, so it's quite a tough one to call there. Anything else sticking out? West Ham, I guess, we've got this sort of what's usually regarded as plum draw against Southampton. Again, Southampton are pretty hit or miss. They lost a lot of goals against Spurs, but reasonable draw. They're going to go down, aren't they? But it's like how do the performances tie in there? So Nottingham Forest against Spurs, Hearts Hibs, it's a big game as well. Dundee United take on St Johnstone. I do know we've got some sort of double game week coming up soon. Try to work out from this what it actually is. I think it's not this game week actually, because I don't see Brighton and Brentford in here unless I'm still a bit hungover from Friday night, but it's probably they're being shovelled into the next game week. Anyway, let's do the Celtic preview, try and get that out of the way and see if I can make some sort of sense of this mad situation at the moment. So yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. What can you do? I'm not complaining about divisions again. Like, everybody knows my thoughts on divisions. If you follow me on Twitter or hear me talking about divisions, it just seems ultra sort of harsh. Like, obviously if you pick 5 guys and you get the odd thing, somebody's in the bench or people play poorly or whatever and you get relegated, fair dues. But you just turn up to a game and there's 2 guys ill or whatever and you're getting relegated. It just seems slightly unfair. Same for everybody. It has happened to other people in different leagues and everything, but once you get out of that sort of D1, it's not always easy to go back up, and obviously it hampers you being able to win the right proper sort of top prizes. So Kasper Schmeichel looks okay. I have but we know at the bottom of this, just to basically say, look, there's been illness in the camp, etc. here, and this is our first draft for the moment. It's going to be a bit hard to predict. So I've went with Scales and Welsh just because I don't really have any information at the moment on when Trusty and Vickers are going to be back. That is the main problem. I don't know when they're going to be back. Roger said they were sick. If they've been sick during the week, you'd imagine they should be okay by Boxing Day, but I guess that depends on energy levels, depends what the sickness was as well, and you don't want obviously everybody else getting inflicted with it. Other people could end up sick as well, sadly. it's just what happens. I've put in Alex Valley there. Taylor, I thought he was okay against Dundee United, but I think Valley will get rotated in at some point, so just anticipating that. Alistair Johnson, interesting one, because he was one that I left out. So he did come off sort of feeling it a bit again in the game against Rangers in the Cup final, which was last week. He did take a hit and went off against Dynamo, so that one was sort of more expected, and he was playing through the sort of injury barrier, the pain barrier a bit against Rangers. Cal McGregor rarely misses any games if he's fit, and with the other changes and everything, I think he'll be important for continuity. I think if anything, if McGregor's not going to play, then he'll maybe be taken off early to manage his minutes, but he doesn't play for Scotland or anything, and obviously this is just the start of the quite heavy run. It's been a lot of games, but it's a particularly heavy run with games every 3 or 4 days. Bernardo and Engels back in. Both of them were on the bench against Dundee United, which I was slightly surprised about. Luke McCown could start again. He's done pretty well in the home games, so I know that Brendan Rodgers likes him in the home games. You could well see him start again. Hatate obviously stayed on pretty much to the end against Dundee United, and put in a good shift in the cup final week before, so his minutes will be managed at some point soon, I'd imagine. Dyson Maeda is just the Duracell bunny. James Forrest's out for 6 weeks, so that takes him out of the equation, and Lewis Palmer's just not good enough. So I think Maeda will play a lot at the moment. Adamida, Furuhashi had kind of one pretty decent chance and one real absolute sitter in against Dundee United. It's quite hard for him just now because a lot of teams are sitting in against Celtic, trying to frustrate, been more difficult to play against. Adamida has started a couple of recent home games, and I think he'll, in my mind, he'll probably get the nod for this one as well. Nicholas Kuhn, I've got 55%. I think if he's fit at all, then he'll come back in. Yang's clearly got some sort of talent, but not that much in terms of end product, sadly. And Celtic have really relied on Nicholas Kuhn for goals and assists this season, and if that pain in his knees away, then I should be back in. Knowing Rodgers' style with injuries and issues and everything recently, he does usually try and manage people, so if there's a risk at all, usually leave them out and then they'll come back for the next game. James Forrest, the only sort of more long-term injury that's known about just now, it's definitely he's out for 6 weeks, so everybody knows his long-term, and the other guys, it's just a matter of when they're going to come back in. So it's going to be quite tough. I mean, I'm not picking any teams tonight, just completely deliberately. I'm just going to look through the fixtures, and just now we can have a discussion about that again, but I'm not going to be picking anybody. I'm going to leave it until Tuesday morning, which is Christmas Eve, and I suppose there are other things to organise on Christmas Eve as well, like Christmas. But yeah, it's an intensive spell for UK football, and it's one of those. So let's have a look and see what's on specials wise, etc. as well. So we did have the beat the target, which I never really beat any of the targets, but we went quite ambitious in that. I don't know if that's the right strategy or not, but I do like going quite ambitious when we're talking about targets. So we've got Best of Europe, which is just the beginners competition. Premier League, so it'd be good to have that one back up to Division 1, to be honest. Although I don't really know. I don't think if Brentford and Brighton have got like sort of double game week the following week, then I won't really be able to to use them. Let's have a look at that. I think there's a match list somewhere here. Sure there is. There used to be anyway. Everything all moves about fairly often. So, is there a match list? I always thought there would be, but yeah. See if it's in Discover New Competitions. And it is. It's in Discover New Competitions. So, Premier League match list 24th to the 27th. So it does look as if there's no Brighton and there's no Brentford in this round of games. So that's going to be interesting for me. I'll definitely be leaving out that D1, I think, then, just saving it for the following game week. I think that's going to be a strategy. I don't really have any other sort of in-season guys, and usually, I'll have to put some Brighton guys in, use a Mo Salah or another classic card in there, so I won't really be playing much of that. Contender in seasons there should be able to keep one super rare and one rare, so that's not so bad. Games wise, in terms of what else is on, obviously Sassuolo still running, but they don't have in season cards, so be some Berardi's kicking around in terms of the last slot or slots in super rare. And it's SPFL only, so Rangers away against St Mirren. I think Rangers will beat St Mirren, to be honest, but can be a tough game. Aberdeen away at Kilmarnock on the dodgy pitch. Dundee United away against St Johnstone. Dundee against Ross County. So it's a pretty good chance to win stuff. So that's really why it can be frustrating. So see, Division 2 is only $250 for first, and D1's $1,000 for first and super rare. So it's quite top heavy. Although I'll be glad to get one team into that. It's going to be a tough call, but having one in super rare would be good, and in rare, again, it's going to be pretty similar, to be honest. So 4 divisions in rare: D2 $250 for first, and D1 $600 for first. And considering it is really just, the sort of five or six sort of SPFL games, then that's fair enough, really. We've got the Cap 220 on, so that's quite interesting. I like the cap mods, and we'll have a wee look at that and see if we can pick out anybody who's got a good average. We've got All-Star running, and then that's pretty much us for this game week. So let's have a look at firstly my own players for Cap 220. So it's quite a tough, tight average. So 220 divided by 5 is what? Around about 45-ish. So, the thing I do like about the caps over the specialist is you can just kind of look round about max 50, last 15 average, see if you can get some guys underneath that as well. So clean sheets wise, so Robert Sanchez has got a last 15 average of 38. Angus Gunn actually for 42 is pretty decent. Kepa, Bournemouth have been putting up some good results, so he's usually quite busy as well, so Kepa is definitely not the worst shout, although 33% clean sheet percentage is not brilliant. Jack Walton for Dundee United, again, last 15 of 48, so it's actually pretty decent. Shane Maitov's injured at the moment, that's a bit of a blow for anyone who really sort of owns him. But yeah, Robert Sanchez looks like a decent shout at home with a 38 last 15. These are just my own players, we'll have a look at the overall pool just in a wee minute. Milos Kerkez is definitely a guy who's capable. I mean, last 50 and 50, so he's right up at the top end in terms of you having to fit other guys in. Tony Ralston's still on a 50 average as well. It's probably because he still does pretty well when he comes in. Destiny Udogie, Spurs just concede loads of goals, don't they? Levi Colwell at home, 37% clean sheet percentage. Reasonable projected score. Nothing really huge standing out here. Ross Barkley's, don't know why he's that high. Arnie Engels definitely could be 146, so he fits in nicely with the cap. I think he'll be back in for this game. Only came on for 5 minutes the last game, but I don't know if he was involved in the sickness as well. Found that a bit weird. Me and Quinny both thought that he would have actually started that game. Michael Johnson capable of a decisive. Blaine Anotti's a guy who is always capable of decisive as well. Just been struggling, obviously. A wee bit of the bounce with new manager coming in, Big Ruud van Nistelrooy. And then up front, Furuhashi, I'm not really sure if he'll start. Definitely think Adam Ida is a reasonable shout for this. I mean, last 15 of 44 at home, 2.75 XG, that's definitely a standout. Guess Maeda you could be using as well. He's not. Maeda's been doing what he's been brilliant in the cup and stuff, but he's not really done it from an SO5 point of view, so guess that can be properly frustrating. So in terms of player database, we're going to have a look at this as well. Let's just have a look at the standouts for under 45 average, because that fits in nicely with the cap. Remember, this is a spreadsheet. I've put it in the wrong bit. I put it in the minimum 45. I was wondering why Mo Salah was appearing up there. Be good if you get Mo Salah. Well, I suppose you could get Mo Salah into cap 220, but that'd be a bit daft, and you would need like a goalkeeper with a 0 last 15 or somebody coming back from injury or whatever. So there we go. So under 45 average, you've got Fabianski. Looks as if there's a wee bit of touch and go for him playing. It's only 60%. I don't really know much about the goalkeeping situation there, but I'm guessing Areola's going to be back at some point. Matthias de Ligt's an interesting one, and quite a high projected score there. Assuming Man United are probably at home. Todibo, again, it'll be a wee bit in and out. That's what you kind of get here, but, Andre Onana as well, projected 90. Michael Antonio's on there. Hope he's recovering well. That was a real sickener, that accident. Wish I hadn't seen the picture of that, but there we go. Moving on, wish the big man well. Interesting ones are Anwar El Ghazi he's at Cardiff now, so pretty interesting. Michael Johnson we looked at earlier as well. Guess Danilo if he plays for Rangers, pretty decent chance of St Mirren. But the same, there'll be some rotations. John Sterling again, never started the last game, but Tavernier, for example, will be a bit of a rotation risk for Rangers at the moment as well. He's missed a good few games rotation-wise, even in Europe and things. Lawrence Vigouroux, I don't really know too well, but he's a goalkeeper, so definitely want to look out for. Carlos Soler, pretty interesting. Kevin De Bruyne, again, been injured a lot this season, so, but capable of the high scoring, got a really low last 15, so I don't know if you really want to be picking him out, particularly for the Cap 220, but if you do have one kicking about in a collection, etc., then definitely wouldn't put you off from that perspective. So, anyways, I think that's going to be all for me just now. I'm sorry I'm not actually picking out any Celtic lineups, etc., but I really do want to try and get some news first. Obviously, if anyone's subscribing to Predictor 5, we will get all the information updated on that. Imagine there'll be a bit of training like tomorrow. Probably will be training Christmas Eve as well. I think when Celtic playing Boxing Day, there's even a wee bit of training on Christmas morning as well, and then obviously the rest of the day spent with the family, etc. So there'll be news, but the deadline is in Christmas Eve, so there's news on Christmas Day, then that's no use. I hope that everyone's well. Obviously that's what happens this sort of time of year, winter, illness and things goes about. More important things in life than our SO5 lineups, but that's what we're here to talk about, and wish everybody well and all that, but we're fit to get down to the darts on Monday morning. Just wrecked our SO5 lineups. I'm only kidding. Anybody can get ill at any point. Loads of sickness bugs. There's actually in Scotland, there's been like the winter sort of sickness bug and everything going about, and everybody's been sort of floored for like 2, 3, 4 days and everything with it. So touch wood, I don't get that myself, and touch wood doesn't go through any more of the clubs and cause any more carnage. Anyway, this is the last video before Christmas. Wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy it with the family. Hope you have a great time. If you've got any teams out, hope you have a bit of success. Seems to be the Newcastle stacks are having a lot of success just now, but that's the way SO5 goes. There's ups and there's downs. But if you're playing over Christmas, we end in customary fashion. Good luck and go fuck.